What? Yeah, what's up? Hey guys, what's up? This is Date Fails. I'm Kate Quigley. I have my sometimes co-host and lovely BFF, Jenn Sterger here.
What?
Yeah. And
that's all the enthusiasm I have today.
That's what Jenn has left. I'm on like 7 Adderall, by the way, in case I seem a little jacked up, and a coffee and a Sudafed. So things are great. Things are really good.
Brian's like, I couldn't be on the opposite end of the spectrum harder if I tried.
Just woke up, had 2 sips of iced coffee.
I know, I text Brian today. I'm like, can we push back to 2:30? I had a feeling you wouldn't mind. Somehow.
Oh, no, it was an extra snooze.
I know. And guys, my guest today, a very good friend of mine. You may know him from the Joe Rogan Experience or just from his stand-up or from his millions of, I feel like you've had a million podcasts, all the Death Squad shows. Oh, I should have worn my Death Squad shirt today.
You should have.
I'll take a selfie in it later. Brian Redban, everyone.
Hi,
Woo! What's up?
Good seeing you guys again.
It's always good to see you. You're one of my favorite people. He really is. And now you're all girlfriended up. You're not single.
You're like an adorable teddy bear that talks about buttholes and all kinds of other stuff. But you're our favorite teddy bear.
He really is, though. You're so just like cuddly and huggy.
Cuddliest.
You know, I used to like to talk about buttholes and all that stuff until I started dating an Asian girl, and then I realized, Asians love buttholes and all that stuff a million times more than me.
What do you mean?
I mean, my girlfriend's the most like she talks too much about it. Like she's sending me photos of her poop because it looks fluffy. And I'm like, no, don't. It's
Are you serious?
Air whipped.
Wait, what do you mean? Your girlfriend sends you photos of poop?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool that we could fart.
You found your soulmate.
And I thought so. I thought it was cool because we could fart in front of each other. But lately, she's like, I like the smell of your farts, and I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to say that. Now it doesn't work anymore. If I think you think it's delicious.
Oh, Brian home.
Can we just discuss how on the last episode we just talked about how the porn guy that I was dating for a while got like basically gave me shit because he thought it was weird that I was like sending him like dirty photos and like flirty texts, and he was like, I just think it's weird, like most girls don't send so many of these, like it's not normal.
Did the guy also do boy scenes?
No.
That's a different guy.
But I will say that one night I was with that guy and I said something like how my friend found out her boyfriend was gay, and he was like, how do you know? And I said like, well, she caught him fucking a transvestite. And he was like, was it really gay if he has like tits and stuff?
There you go. There you just answered your own question.
Once you open that once you open the door a crack.
Yeah.
Right.
The door's open.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to change that guy's contact to shit dick.
Yeah.
That's one that he hasn't been in the phone at.
Yeah, he hasn't been in as that yet.
Changing that one. What's his icon going to be?
But that's so funny that like he's giving me shit for that. Meanwhile, Brian's girlfriend is sending photos of poop. And
Yeah.
he's like, we're perfect for each other. This is great.
Want to get married? She's the one.
She is so dope though, because
She's great.
I love her so much, and I follow you, of course, on Instagram. And the other day, he posted an Instagram story, and it's literally just her outside just fucking bouncing on a pogo stick and giggling hysterically, and like I don't think she knew.
Every single Asian YouTube video I've ever watched.
She's addicted to pogo sticks, and she's like been.
Where do you find one?
I don't know. And she's been practicing every day. When she first got it, she was just like could do like a couple. Now she could go super high up. So now she giggles hysterically because she can't believe how high she's going when she's pogo sticking.
Is she high while doing this?
Sometimes, probably, but it's amazing watching her grow as a pogo sticker.
I mean,
you're like, does any of these skills translate to the bedroom? Because otherwise, this seems like a pretty useless skill set.
Not really. I could already throw her off me and like, throw
she's
her to
tiny.
throw her to the kitchen.
She's so tiny. I mean, I have to say the pogo stick thing though is such a good workout. When I was just in DC, randomly, some dude, I can't remember his name, there was a comic who did like a guest spot, and he had a pogo stick in his trunk.
The one you broke?
I did. I broke it. Yeah, I broke it. But that's beside the point, Brian. I kicked it because it wasn't working right, and then I broke off one of the foot pieces. It wasn't an expensive one, okay, but the point is I bounced on it just for like 30 seconds and I was sweating. So I would imagine if you got great at it, it would be a great
If you didn't know
workout.
what this conversation was about, that was a hilarious statement.
Just tune in right now.
You just bounce on it for like 30 seconds and it's an amazing workout.
Is hers though like is it like one of the cheapy ones, or is it like an
It's like
expensive?
mid-price Amazon. Like I think it was like $50, which is like I guess expensive in the pogo market. You know.
You
It
ordered
was a pogo market.
I didn't either, but I feel like Brian, you just seem to go on Amazon and just order all kinds of weird shit.
I add shit to my basket all day long. Like I, you know, people were giving me shit because I have a wish list, and I'm like, you're like, I think Sam Tripoli brought it up. Like any comic that's not a porn star that has a wish list needs to be shot or something like that. And I was like, wait a second, Sam, I have a wish list. It's just like having things that like a real wish list. Like I want this, I want this, I want that.
Or like if you don't have time to buy something, you're
Right.
like, I'll come back and buy this later.
Yeah.
That's hilarious that Sam said that though, because like maybe 2 years ago, Sam was like, I can't believe you don't have an Amazon. Why don't you have an Amazon wish list? And I was like, because I feel weird because I'm not like a porn star. The only people I know who do ask
he
for
switched
gifts,
it.
are porn stars. But sometimes people will ask me, they're like, why don't you have one? And here's what it is, because I'm broke as fuck all the time.
But you don't even want the perception that you're asking people for crap.
I feel like if you're on TV, to the rest of the world, they think you have money. So then if you're like, hey, I have this wish list, and my wish list would be like gas, groceries, like that's what I would.
Yeah.
Power.
Oh,
Power bill.
Don't even get me started with power bill. Like I suck at paying bills. Like
Me too.
Like I'm one of those guys that like every 2 months I'll be like, oh, how much do I owe? All right, I'll pay it. You know, and like pay all the extra late charges
I
and
do that
stuff.
too.
I'm like the worst at paying bills. But I live in Burbank where they have their own power company, electric company, and so they don't work the same way as everyone else. Like if you're like 15 days late to your bill, they just turn it off. And like out of nowhere, you're just like, oh, no power. Then it costs like $150 to turn it back
What?
on. Then you have to pay this month's bill, last month's bill, and the future bill. Like it's like $700 if you get your power turned
No,
off.
wait, they just turn it off in 2 weeks? That's all the time you get?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
So I'll forget. Like I'll just be sitting there and I'll wake up and I'll hear just like my ceiling fan turn off. I'm like, no. Please no, don't let it be. Please don't let it be. And then I run outside and I look for like my first like light outside. I'm like, no.
Brian has a light bulb go out, and he's like, fuck!
It's the worst.
Wait, so how long does it take for them to turn it back on?
Well, now it's all electric. Like they literally press a button, which makes it even more sad that a guy doesn't have to drive out there. So you're paying. What am I paying $150 for you to push a button? So now it's horrible. And if you don't have money, you're fucked. Like I've been where I had no money. Like I've had like $300. And I'm like, I don't have $700, and like we're sorry, you know, you at least have to have $450. I took off the $50 thing here, but I'm like, Jesus,
no way.
that's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just pay the minimum. Like I've never done that before in my life. I've always been like a pay off the whole thing all the time person.
Right.
But lately I've been just paying the minimums on things that I didn't even know you could. Like, did you know on your cell phone bill you can just pay like $50 to just keep it going for like you could rack up $5,000 worth of cell phone bills and just keep paying $50 at a time.
Yeah, I'm lucky though. I mean, since I switched to T-Mobile. Like my cell phone bill's not a problem.
It's
It used to be a
service is
problem.
absolute shit. But
Well, it depends where you live. Like I've definitely like
when
where
you
I
live
live,
on
it's
the
great.
top of a mountain, it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, but Brian and I have
It's great.
argued about this forever because I'm Verizon and you're T-Mobile,
Right.
and my bill is astronaut. It's like $240.
My bill's like
or something.
$30. Isn't yours something like that? It's dumb
yeah,
cheap.
yeah. Well, I have 2 lines and unlimited everything, and I think it's under $100.
Yep.
But it's with
That's me too.
with an iPhone in it. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm paying for this on top of it.
Unlimited everything for $100?
Yeah.
Sounds like we're doing a commercial for that. But for real?
Well,
That's
and
real?
you got T-Mobile Tuesdays, which is
Do you want me to adopt you and put you on my family plan?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you should do that. You know what you should do if she doesn't even do that, which she should, because like you could pay her $30 a month, and that she'll make money off this.
And then
But-
when you're in one of your moods, I can just turn your phone off.
Oh, you could track her too. Yeah, you could track her.
You could probably also
She'll
like.
be like angry texting me. I'm like, I'll show this bitch.
That'd be great
Like-
too, because you could block numbers of guys I shouldn't be texting, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "Why isn't this asshole texting me back?" And Jen's just like, "I don't know."
So weird.
I mean, you should really.
Meanwhile, they're getting all your text.
Right.
You should really just go to, like, if you don't believe us, just go get a phone, get a new service at T-Mobile, try it for 10 days. If you don't like it, take it back. But I bet you it's going to be better service and half your bill. We should not talk about T-Mobile.
Yeah, no, but that was it's people care because everybody out there has a different cell phone provider, and it is true that Verizon kind of sucks lately. Like, I also have Verizon insurance, and I fucking just broke my phone a couple weeks ago. And when I went to get a new one, they were like, it's going to take 2 weeks. And I was like, why am I paying $10 a month or whatever for insurance if it's going to take 2 weeks? I ended up paying $200 to replace my phone screen and didn't even use my insurance. So fuck Verizon.
Yeah.
I hope Verizon isn't a sponsor of many podcasts on this network. It won't be now.
I mean, I came from Verizon also, so like nowadays they're all exactly the same. Like that stupid Sprint commercial where like they're all within 1% of like because it's totally different than it used to be 2 years ago. So nowadays it doesn't matter. It's just who's the cheapest one nowadays.
Yep.
I'm glad we had this talk. People need to know. Everyone, just make the switch. I'm going to make the switch. We're all going to make the switch.
And get an iPhone. Don't let that. I don't
I
understand.
like Samsung.
Why?
What do you? Okay, but why? Well, first of all, I really do like Samsung because there are things I use my stylus for. I have a note, and I use the stylus. I color on things, and I use it for like writing and signing. I use the stylus. That's one. And also, the camera's better. And the camera's better.
The camera is really good.
You haven't played with the 7 Plus with the 2 cameras and the portrait mode and the low light. Yeah, I have your exact same phone, so I know I have both.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, and also you can't get
served. Your phone just got served.
And you could just get you could use that as your drawing pad on the side. You don't have to have a service to use it as a drawing pad.
He's got a point. That's a good point. All right, fine. I'm going to switch everything. Okay,
you know
Brian,
how easy it is
time.
to hack your phone?
You should just let Brian run your life at this point.
I really
seriously.
feel like I should have done that a long time ago. Okay, let's talk about that. This is funny, how we met, how Brian and I met. I don't know if Jen even knows this story, because I think it's before I met you,
Yes.
Jen. So Brian and I met at the Comedy Store. And we bonded over being from Ohio, because you're from Seabus, right?
Yep, Seabus.
Seabus. And I'm from Canton. And so we hit it off. And I was like, oh, this guy's so cool. I love him. We should totally hang out. And he's like, we should hang out. And then we hung out a bunch.
Yeah, we started going on a lot of dates.
They weren't dates.
They were
This is hilarious. Okay, so you guys were hanging out.
So I was like, hey, we should go get some food together sometime. So me and her went and had food and drinks multiple times.
Wait. Can I just
Was
say?
there any like making out?
No,
like, hand
never.
hand
No,
thing?
nothing. But can
nothing.
I say in my defense, first of all, that I did say I don't date comics right up front.
No, you said you don't date. You're trying not to date comics anymore.
Oh,
Flying.
trying not to date comics. Yeah, that's true.
and then you used to have this boob picture that you used to send to everyone, but you wouldn't send it to me because
What
you were
boob
like,
picture?
I don't know. You used to have a picture you sent to a few people, and I'm like, I want to see it, and you're like, I don't send. I only. Send
The
people.
friend zone rule. Okay, wait. I probably did say that because I've said that to so many. This is true. Okay, this is true. I have a rule with my guy friends, like where say I'm not dating anyone and I take a hot photo and I have no one to send it to. Sometimes you're drunk and you just want a little, validation. So I have a rule with some of my guy friends where like they can have the hot photos, but once you get one, if we've never fucked, you're friend zoned for life.
Right.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
Because like I just don't want there to be any like confusion. So if you get those from me, it means you're in the friend zone forever.
So and I said, well, I don't want that picture, and then we continue to go on dates.
And then
They were not.
Instagram came along, and she's like, I'll just put them here instead.
Yeah.
No, whatever. So, okay, well, yeah, I guess to be fair to you, that's kind of like my way of getting out of sending guys nude photos too, is like, I'm like, oh, then you're in the friend zone forever. And I did kind of dig you. Like, I just didn't want to fuck around with the comics. I didn't want to fuck shit up, but I also kind of like did like you, so it was complicated.
And then I took her to a concert. I think it was Jimmy Kimmel. We saw 9 Inch Nails
was really
or something
fun.
like
We
that.
were, like, backstage.
And I think that was
And
the
still, no.
So nothing.
That was the one. He did take me out like 4 or 5 times, and he was super sweet, such a gentleman, always paid, picked me
And so
up.
naturally, Kate thought he was a friend.
Yeah, and then that was the one. So then he took me to 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, and then I think it was after that concert where I was just like, all right, I'm done wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I started dating somebody else like quickly after. I was like, all right, goodbye.
The best thing though is he at least like he called me out on it. Because I remember because he goes, "Yo, I've taken you out like 5 times. Are we gonna make out or what?"
I don't know if that was my exact words. Sounds like it. But
It was pretty much like that. Are you gonna like make out with me or what? And I was like, "What? These aren't dates. I told you. I just wanted to be friends because you're a comic." And he was he's like, "I fucking took you out. I paid for you. I took it." Like he was
We were
right.
just arguing about this.
Yeah,
Well,
we were.
it's definitely.
You have shit all backwards,
I
Kate.
do. I really do.
And if she did say like the friend thing, like she's not trying to date comics, then maybe that was like the first date we went on.
There were no dates!
Or first time we went out, or
It
something
was
like
an
that.
interview.
They were dates.
It might have been the first time, but it wasn't like
They were
every time we
friend
went out.
hangs.
she said that.
I do want to say 2 things. One, I was very naive. But at the time, too, when I met you, to be fair to me, like, I'd only been single for, like, a grand total in my life at that point of, like, 3 months or something.
Oh, wow.
Because I got right out of my marriage, I dated a guy for a year. And then right after that, I dated, like, that comic for a very brief moment, which is why I was like, I don't want to date comics. It's not going to be. So I was so just dumb and naive that I really, now, of course, you taught me a valuable lesson, which is like now I really don't ever let guys pay for anything if I'm not like, oh, I'm going to date this guy.
It's not, and it's not like we became enemies or anything. We were
No,
still
of
good
course not.
friends still
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
I just would call her out like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Not hold his hand?" Like anytime she's talking about a date, I was just kind of like giving her little things, you know.
You always
Yeah,
been
but now,
he's the best.
but now
He's the
you've
best.
trained her so hard, Brian. You've trained her so hard that she doesn't let dudes pay for anything, even ones that she's trying to date.
Well,
I let him pay
instead, they
sometimes.
Yeah, for what?
I let them pay, but I just get nervous about them thinking that I'm in it for the wrong reason. So I'm really
But here's
careful.
the thing: you weren't expecting her to do any of this. You were doing it because you liked her.
Yeah, exactly.
But you weren't like, okay, the 9 Inch Nails concert, she's got to fuck me or I'm done.
No. It was never like
never.
that. It was never like that. It was just more like after
You're like,
after
if
I
she
dropped her off,
doesn't
I'm
give
like,
me a
that's
signal
it. Yeah,
that
yeah.
something's gonna happen,
Yeah.
then odds are, it's
Right.
just nothing's.
Yeah, and I
We're gonna be good friends.
And pretty much when I said that to her, like it was more like, "Hey, man, I'm giving up." You know, like I'm not.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like, "Damn you, I hate you," or anything. It was more like, "I give up. I'm going to go this way now."
But then to show what an amazing guy Brian is, we did always still stay friends. And like, it's so funny too, because I think that you are so different than the way that people like perceive you, because you have this whole like Death Squad image, which is like, I thought for real.
I have Redban and Reichel,
Yeah.
100%.
Which is funny because I still have you saved in my phone as Brian Reichel, and people are like, "Who's that?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's Redban." But like, it is funny because I thought too that you would be this dude that's like fucking all these porn chicks all the time and just like super dirty and kind of a dude. And you're like the nicest, sweetest
Yeah,
guy.
well, Redban is the whole fucking porn. I dated a porn star, so then
Yeah.
everyone thought, "Oh, he's fucking all these porn chicks just because I was hanging out with all these porn stars that
Oh,
were
I
friends
can
with
relate.
him." You know?
Yep.
So then, and then me being like all the stories that I've said on all the different podcasts and stuff. That's me just being Redban version of all those stories.
Sure.
Now, if I would sit you down and be like, "Yes, this did happen, but wasn't as crazy as you think," you know, it's like there's definitely an exaggeration when it comes to Redban.
When it comes to
Exactly.
everyone, everybody has that. Well, I was talking about that on the last episode, how like I feel like my kind of like image or branding or whatever, because of that, guys expect a certain thing, and then when they get to know me and I'm actually like not normal, but like chill and like kind of
You're like,
sweet and
oh,
like girly and
she's a
sensitive.
girl.
And
Well, yeah, when your Instagram's all like hot sex, buttholes, you know, tits.
it is not. It really isn't.
it's kind of like I see where they're coming from.
You're posting pictures of your butthole?
No.
No, she puts like a flower over it or
To
something.
be fair to me, I really only post like maybe 1 in like 10 photos that's like even remotely sexy, and I've really scaled back on how hot they are.
You don't even know that they're sexy though. Like you have a picture of you like wearing a sweatshirt,
She's
like
like,
going,
"This isn't
ain't
sexy."
While you could see like the outline of a nipple through your sweatshirt.
Meanwhile, guys are like, ugh.
Well, that's not my fault. I don't
Not your
mean
fault.
to.
It's not your fault.
I guess that's true.
it's not your fault.
Am I allowed to pee?
Yeah, you
Can I
can
take a
go
pee break?
Go
Pee on my
take a
feet.
pee break. Go
I'm not
take
gonna
a
pee on your feet. Redban.
But you're gonna miss.
Michael, you better calm Redban
That
down.
was Redban.
That was Redban for sure. You're gonna miss Brian's shitting story because that's what I'm gonna ask him about.
home when I get back.
Okay, you know what we'll talk about until she gets back instead of shitting? Let's talk about VR.
Okay.
You're so into VR. I see it's VR gaming that you're doing?
Yeah, I got the new PlayStation VR. So lately, one of my favorite things to do is like at night, I'll come home and I'll invite somebody over afterwards, and we'll just play video games all night. Because it's like doing a drug for your first time. If you do it proper, like a good VR system, like it's like the next day you're like, wow, I feel different now. Like it's
really?
That was an intense experience last night. Like I played it so long that the next day I was like laying in bed when I woke up, and I was looking at my screen, and it was a picture of Obama, and I swear to God, it was an animated GIF. But then I like squinted my eyes and like shook my head and looked at it again. It was just a photo. Like it was fucking with my eyes.
It makes you see weird.
I think when you first do it, it definitely, your brain's not used to it, your eyes are not used to it, and I think after a couple of days it starts getting used to it. But for the first couple of days, it was like doing mushrooms your first time, and then next day like going, I see leaves different. I'm looking at a tree and it looks different.
Wow.
Well,
I can kind of relate because we shot. I host this show called Undercover on the Playboy channel, and we explore like weird sex stuff. And one of the episodes we did was a VR porn episode. And so it was a two-parter. Like one part of it, we went to the Real Doll Factory in San Diego.
You're so lucky.
Have you ever been there?
No, I would love to go. That's one of the things I've always wanted is a real doll.
Really?
I have so many mannequins and like robots and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I'll hook you up with them. They would love you.
I would love to be hooked
up with them. I will, for
I'll
sure.
take the refurbished ones,
Dude, the Real Doll Factory is crazy because you walk downstairs and it looks like, the scene from Rocky where he walks in and all the chicken carcasses or not chicken, whatever, meat carcasses are hanging and he like beats them. It looks like that, but it's all like fuck doll bodies, but just the bodies with no heads.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It's I mean like on the internet, but I love real dolls. They're so cool and creepy.
Oh, it's crazy. They gave me a real dick that's a prototype of the new real dick they're making.
Does it feel real?
It's it feels so real. It's crazy. And it's like literally it is like the most perfect dick. Like when they make this thing and it's usable and it's attached, because that's what they're doing, is they're making it so that when you wear the VR headset and you watch the VR porn, you'll be able to use your real doll.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so you'll literally think you're fucking a real person.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, did they give you a big one or they give you a little one? Like
it's like 8 inches.
Like,
it's
and what was your
perfect,
water line on that?
Do you know what's funny?
I'd love to see it. You can see where like there's like powder where it hasn't been used before, and then there's just like this clean version of it halfway through.
I actually haven't used it.
Yeah, you have
no,
fucking
I
shit.
swear to you, I haven't used it like that because it's so like nice and pretty and perfect. Now I want to mess.
You don't want to put it in your dirty pussy. Like I don't want to get.
For a while, I had it on my coffee table in the living room, so that when people would come over, they'd just be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Does it have a suction cup or anything on it? No.
It doesn't suction, but it stands up nicely.
Oh,
it stands up nice.
That's hilarious.
But do you watch? We're talking about VR porn, Jen.
Oh God.
So have you used the VR headset for porn?
It's the PlayStation one. VR, so they don't have easy access to the VR porn stuff. You can actually do it. One of the bigger websites, I forget which one, you can download all their VR onto like a thumb drive and then put it into the PlayStation. So there is a way to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet but I have done like the Samsung.
Because he has a girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
But I have done the Samsung one.
Yeah.
Where you put it in like the little thing and use your phone. And what's crazy is that I've been talking about how I've thought porn is dead for a while. I think cams have pretty much taken over, and like unfortunately, I don't see any porn stars anymore. And I didn't really see any kind of hope for them. But after watching my first VR porn,
their parents didn't either. So,
so after watching VR porn, I was like, finally, I get it. Like, this is their way back in, because after you watch VR porn for your first time, you have a connection, even though it's not like you're fucking the person yet. And it was like a shitty version of VR porn that I was doing. It was still close enough where I was like, that was awesome. Like that was way closer than watching on a video. That to the point, if I watched a better version of it, I could see, oh no, there's a whole new wave of porn coming,
It is crazy. So for this episode on the VR porn, we went to a set. and I got to be the body in one of these VR porns. Like I had clothes on, but if you so you've done it. So if you are the person wearing the the phone at home, the headset, like if you look down, you see a body, right? So it's, if you're a dude, you can watch one where it's a dude body and the chick is like on you, so whatever. Well, this is a girl on girl one, and I'm the girl's body. So the other night I'm at the Improv and I'm talking to, I shouldn't call him out, I guess. I'm talking to a comic friend.
Josh Martin,
yeah. About the VR porn. And he's going on and on about how amazing the VR porn is and how much he loves it. And I was like, oh my God, I was in one of those on this site called VR Bangers. You can't see my face, but you can see my body. He fucking pulls out his phone and he goes, what's it called? I have a bunch of them downloaded on my phone. And I go, it's called, which I didn't know this, it's called Downward Facing Slut.
downward
Facing. Downward.
Wow.
Or Downward Slut, something like that. And the chick is like doing yoga and then she starts like coming on to me, right? So he pulls it up on his phone and it's there and I'd never seen it before. And then I got to see like what it looks like through his headset.
and you kept your clothes on the whole time, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I'm literally wearing a dress. And so my job, and these porn guys that do this job, they sit, it's crazy. They sit on a couch and basically the camera is mounted in front of where your face would be. So you have your head tilted back. You can't see anything the whole time. So I'm just laying there, not moving. But if you have the headset on, you look down, it's me. I have on like a purple dress and it's like my legs and my body.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm so confused
Downward
right now.
Slut. Just if you guys have VR Bangers, you can go see it. I can't believe I'm giving them a free plug for this, but it's
Why?
fine.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
You should. The girl who's in it was really cute.
Brian's going to look down and be like, God, I have great boobs.
Finally, I'm
Yeah.
inside Kim.
And I will give a you have great tits. I will give a shout out to that girl because it was like her first week working in porn and she was so nervous and she did a really good job. So I just want to
Do you,
say
do you remember her name?
I don't.
You know, I was watching some yoga, just normal yoga videos, like sexy yoga videos.
Yeah.
I love yoga. Like those yoga pants, you don't even need to see them naked. I love it when it starts sweating around the crotch.
Really?
Like that's hot. Like there's porn videos. I forget what it's called. It's called, I don't know what it is, where it's like girls masturbating with yoga pants on, and it's just, you can just see how wet they're getting because the front of their pants starts getting wet. And that's the hot part. Like you can't even see anything. You just see their pants getting wetter and wetter and wetter.
That is kind of hot.
Yeah.
That is hot. I mean, I had a guy the other day tell me that, like, oh, I really am into like girls that have on like sexy outfits. Like, I like when girls send me like photos of them in sexy outfits instead of nudes. Like, it's hotter. Like, there's still something about like leaving something to the imagination.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why my Instagram doesn't have nudes, Brian.
Well, that's because you'll get banned.
Or you'll get banned.
Yeah, well, that too.
Isn't it weird that Twitter does not give a flying fuck about anything, but yet
No, they
certain
don't.
Yeah, it's like
I
why
know.
Twitter?
I
Why-
don't know. Well, a lot of people say Twitter is basically like for porn at this point. That like a lot of people just have Twitter to follow porn stars and see naked. You don't even need to watch porn if you follow porn stars.
Yeah.
I'd actually mute like all the porn stars I follow because when I'm on airplanes and stuff, I'm scrolling my Twitter feed and it's just a bunch of
That's
pussy.
a great idea. I haven't used the mute feature that much because I was just thinking the same thing. Like, even though I enjoy seeing all this, like you're just flipping through and suddenly you see a girl getting fucked in the ass, like GIF, you know, again, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But a lot of times, like, you know, I'll just be sitting there and like my girlfriend be like watching me, and it looks like I'm just looking at porn, like a porn website. Like,
Yeah.
if you scroll through my timeline.
It's
like,
awkward too if you're sitting next to like an old lady on an
yeah,
airplane or
plane
something.
thing.
It's just it's awkward, and I don't want to deal with that. So, I heard a story about you the other day that had to do with shitting, and apparently my podcast has turned into the place where people share their shitting their pants stories. Now I've had 3 shitting
You
my
made
pants
people feel so safe that
Thank
they
you.
can talk about
This
that
is
on
a
here.
safe place. But Brian, I heard a really good story about you shitting your pants at a store.
well, it was on purpose.
What?
It was on purpose. I talk about this in my act, so I'm sure a lot of people have heard this if they've seen me do comedy. But it pretty much, I dated this girl. She was a lot younger, and she bought me a box of Depends as a joke. And Like,
I like her already.
Yeah, I think it was, and I don't even think it was Depends. I think it was like dollar store Depends. Like she just went to the dollar store and bought a shitload of stupid stuff.
Perfect.
You know, typical stoner dollar store move. And
I do that.
she wrapped it up and everything as like a present. And I was like, oh, she got me a gift. And then I opened it. I was like, what the, you dork. But then I have this thing where like I don't want to throw it away now. Like I don't want to waste it, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought that for a week or so, and then one day I was going to I was like, I'm just going to try one on. She's at work, who gives a fuck? So I tried one on just to see if it worked, and
just to see if it worked.
Yeah, but one thing I didn't think of, it was like really sweaty, and it felt like I was wearing a diaper. Like it was not like a good version of Depends. Like it seemed like a older style model or something.
Wait, do you think that actual
They were
Depends
on
are
sale?
They're
They're at the dollar store.
I think they're a
so
dollar.
wait, do you think
What if
actual?
they weren't like good diapers and you're just like taking the risk of shitting your pants in some generic diaper?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it seemed like
You're
I
gonna
was gonna
shit your pants. Like you better have some reliable stuff.
Well, I didn't really like I'm gonna take a dump. What happened is
Your
that
grandma should just wear it.
I had
you were like, if it happens, it happens.
well, kind of. Like I had him on for a couple hours, and all I
Did you
was
sit down to do it, or were you standing?
no, I was standing, and I was in Target, and I remember.
Wait a second, you're at Target?
Yeah.
How dare you shit in Kate's favorite store?
That's church. God, Brian, what the fuck?
And see, I wasn't shitting. I was just like, every time I farted, I just didn't have that extra like muscle squeeze to make sure nothing comes out.
How
it was just
often
like,
do you fart?
like it was like
Why how many times do you fart on average?
dude, when you drink as much as I do, you fart a lot. I mean,
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, like I there was a few times where I farted, and I just remember like I'm just going all out because I know I have these diapers on. And,
I'm not gonna hold back.
Well, it's
If
interesting
I
because
feel like something's creepy.
your whole life, you've never.
You're like,
every
hold
time
it
you
in,
fart,
hold it
even
in.
if you're going to give a good fart, there's still a little like 20% muscle that's like making sure there's nothing coming out a little.
Right.
Your
But-
sphincter's like, hold the door, guys.
Right.
Hold the door.
I mean, the only time I enjoy farting is when I'm in the shower, you know, because then you're like, you don't give a fuck, and like I'll cup my hand around my butthole and
Oh my
I'll
God.
let it fill with water, so when
No.
it farts, it does Donald Duck or the.
Do not.
Next time you're in the shower, if you know you're gonna fart, cup your hand around your butthole, let it fill with water, and blow it out, and it sounds like Donald Duck.
Brian's like, so I have a poor man's hot tub.
Wait, can I just say?
A poor man's hot tub is a night after Brian's been drinking and he's just sitting in a tub with his girlfriend. She's like, turn up the bubbles. He's like,
Can I just say, like on the last episode, we talked about how this guy I was dating said he wished I was more normal, and I was like, I wear bikinis to the DMV and tell stories about shitting my pants. Like
Right.
you're
Right.
not getting normal, but like this makes me feel really good to know that Brian cups water in his hand over his asshole and farts in the shower, just because I realized that the mind of any artist is fucking weird. Like that's no normal person would ever be like, I'm gonna try to make Donald Duck sounds in my
It might be a
farts.
guy.
was this
it might be a
before
guy thing.
or after you ate the cheeseburger in the shower?
Oh no! Yeah, I've been doing the Donald Duck my whole life. Like that's like
My whole life.
That's like
He was
that's
a
grown
savant.
up with me.
He was a savant.
That's grown up with me.
All right,
And
so
then
you're
I'm
at
in Target and I blow a fart, and it was totally like whoa, and I was like yeah, and that was something came out there. But the problem is that it smelled like I smelled it like immediately, like it was like a fart that just stuck to me, and I was like, and then I kind of freaked out because I was like, oh my god, I
Oh wait,
smell
so
like shit.
there wasn't shit in it?
No,
It
there
just
was
the
shit in it.
Oh, you
and
did shit.
Yeah, just a little. It wasn't like
little a shart.
A shart.
A shart.
But it was pretty bad. It smelled. It smelled. And then I was like near the furniture like in Target.
Yeah.
And I had to like go through the whole entire store and go to the bathroom and like throw it away because it was like the most it smelled like I shit my pants.
Yeah.
Like, I-
Because you theoretically tried to.
Right, but I didn't think for some reason I thought, oh, you know, if I shit, no one's gonna know. That's the whole cool thing. But you don't think about like you think that when it gets wet it would smell like something like flowers or something. But no, it smelled like shit. So
Like
I was
flowers.
well, I didn't know.
You thought the diaper when it gets wet magically smells like flowers?
I just didn't think it would smell. Like I did not even that even didn't
How do
even
you
come to
think
my.
we know when babies crap themselves?
I know, but I thought this was for adults, so like when it got
Right.
wet, it smelled
Yeah.
like licorice whips.
Well, it should. That makes sense, actually. Have you looked into it since then to see if real Depends that aren't $1 have that feature?
No, but I think there is. That'd be fun.
Potpourri,
Potpourri poop.
poop
Depends.
catchers.
Yeah, if there was different smells like tropical blend and like
Oh my God.
like pizza roll flavor.
I
Tortinos.
thought yours already smelled like pizza rolls. Brian.
No, I remember it really smelled like the worst kind of dog poop. That's what it smelled like the orange yammy kind, like the golden retriever poop. That's what it smelled like. It was bad, and it was very noticeable. Like I thought it was just me, and I thought it farted, so I started walking real fast to try to escape it, but it was just following me. Like
Were you worried that anyone was gonna get out and like get down your leg or like show
no,
up?
no, it did. It felt like. I mean, because there was like the one that I had on was like kind of like elastic.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was protected.
It was tight.
But it just smelled really bad.
Did you pee in it?
No.
I would have tried peeing in it.
No, I threw them all away after that. I was
You
like,
did?
Fuck this. Like I almost that was
You're like, I'm
embarrassing.
gross, but this is too much.
I think though, if you live in LA, that's not a bad investment to keep some in your car because
No,
sometimes
it's
you're
not.
stuck on the 405 so fucking long. You might
Dudes
have
have-
to pee in a diaper.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
Huh?
Have you peed in one of those Starbucks
No,
cups you're
I've
drinking out of right
peed
now?
a lot in my car, but I only use like the big mouth, like Mountain Dew, like the big Mountain Dews with the big mouth. Like,
Ah.
So a bottle? Oh, so you can literally just like attach it
and
on
then
and
throw it
then
in the
keep
back
driving?
seat. Yeah, and because I usually have like that or the Arizona iced teas or the
can?
glass ones, the
Yeah.
big glass Arizona. I think they're Arizona.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The bottle,
I
yeah.
usually have a couple bottles in my
Like
car.
Sobe.
Yeah. Sobe, that's what I was
Sobe
thinking of.
lizards.
Yeah. Sobe lizard, that's right. And the bad thing is that it's more than one of those bottles, so you actually have to stop it and then like.
Oh, how do you stop? That's
Yeah.
so hard.
It usually gets you to enough though to like a gas station or something. But I've done one of these once and I learned my lesson immediately because I filled the whole thing up, a Trenta, cup.
How much do you pee?
I don't pee that much. So when I do pee, it's like, all right, everyone out.
Guys don't pee a lot. Guys don't pee like
I know
girls
guys.
do.
I know guys that pee a lot.
You do?
Yeah, and it's mostly because you have a problem.
Oh, like they're old, like they're
old, or they just have prostate problems.
Interesting.
And
Huh. This is taking an interesting turn that I didn't expect.
like
Did
this.
you talk about the date you went on yet?
The gay date?
Yeah.
No. Should we get Brian's advice
Yeah,
on the gay
I
date?
think you should. I think if anyone's going to give you an honest opinion.
All right. I took a lot of shit for talking about this online, okay? But here's the thing. I went on my first Bumble date
God.
last week. I've never been
It
on
was a bumble fuck. Is what it was.
Can I just say, by the way,
Not
that
like an actual. It was like, when something's so bad. It's
it was a
that,
bumble
yeah.
fuck. I came home drunk one night and lonely. It's the this time of year makes me want to kill myself. Like, I think single girls this time of year, we need to like band together.
Oh, yeah,
It's
this is
fucking
holidays.
depressing
No,
as
it's
fuck.
guys, awesome, man. And like usually I'm single for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh.
Like the last 3 years, I've been like my relationships have ended right before.
Yeah.
So you don't have
And-
to buy presents for anyone.
Yeah, but you're
Smart.
also sitting at home by yourself.
Miserable.
Your family's away, and you're eating lean pockets on Thanksgiving, and then on Christmas you just sleep because you don't want to even
farting
think
in
about it.
diapers.
Yeah. I think I even texted you last Christmas, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And you're
Yeah.
like, sleeping all day or something. Yeah, like, it's the fucking worst. So one night I came home and I got on Bumble and I was like, fuck it. I need to go on. I need to start dating. Like, I just need, because I don't date really much. So I
So you were just swiping everywhere.
I matched with like 50 guys and I sent them all just a hi, 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 hi. And then a few messaged me back. And there was one, he was really hot, older, 47, which I like, older, got his shit together. He's a surfer, great body. I'm like, oh, this looks promising. And he looks like really butch, like in his photos. Like, that's kind of my type. I tend to go for like butch looking dudes. I know, Brian, you think they're gross. But anyway, so I match this dude and we start messaging and he's funny, which is so rare, Like I go, hey, I'm free to get a drink on Thursday night. And he's like, oh, well, Thursday night I have plans to get my eyebrows waxed, but I guess I can move that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. That's hilarious because he's this butch looking guy talking about getting his eyebrows waxed, And then like we make plans to meet and I'm like, on my way to the bar, and I'm like, okay, I'm wearing jeans and a gray T-shirt just in case you don't recognize me. I'm super dressed up, clearly, by the way. And then he's like, okay, great. I'm the one in the unicorn suit. And I'm like, oh, this guy's funny. Like, he's like, what? Like, that would be like a fighter guy being like, I'm in a unicorn. Like, you don't expect that. So I thought this was all good signs. And then I walk into the bar.
And he's like, hi!
Yeah. I see him and he stands up and he goes, hey, so good to meet you. Like, just like that. And immediately I'm like, is this guy gay? And I don't want to make immediate, like, snap judgments, but he, like, most straight guys aren't that flaming, right? So then I sit down and he's like, you know, what can I get you to drink? And I'm like, I'll just do like a tequila soda. And he's like, girl, this is a mixology bar. You can't do that.
He said girl?
He said girl.
Oh, then that's it.
That's it?
Game over. Now, I mean, I know guys that act gay that people think are gay. Like, everyone thinks Tony Hinchcliffe's gay. And,
Right.
like, his whole life, he has jokes about it, luckily.
Yeah.
It's really funny. But he's not, you know, like, but if he was to say, girl, or something like that, then I'd be like,
The
okay.
jig is up.
The jig is up.
Said girl, yeah. And then, but here's where it gets even weirder, because I'm trying to hang in there, because I'm trying to have an open mind, because I'm really am trying to change the way that I date. Like, I don't want to keep dating dicks. Like, I want to date a nice guy, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna give this guy a chance, because, you know, he seems nice and he's here, so fuck it. So then, like, he goes, he keeps making really sexual innuendos at me, but like in the gay voice. Like, he goes, I told him I had to leave at 11:30 because I had a set at midnight at the Laugh Factory. And he's like, what? You mean this isn't a sex date? Oh. And I was like,
My favorite text you sent me was, yeah, girl, you know I'm going to watch that ass when you walk to the bathroom.
I did. I said, I'm going to go use the bathroom. And he goes, yeah, girl, you know I'm going to watch that ass when you walk away. And I'm like, it's confusing.
And wonder where you got those pants, because, oh my God.
He didn't say that, and that's
I'm
the
joking.
problem, is everything was like borderline gay.
All right, so here's my 3 theories
Okay.
so far. 1, the guy is gay. 2, the guy is bi. 3, it's LA. He's somehow trolling you, and like there's a camera and there's friends sitting next to you, and you're being recorded.
All of those are possibilities.
I mean, I guess that's possible.
Did you kiss him?
No. Oh, I couldn't. He looked like he'd had like work done on his face, and and then at one point he goes, everyone in this bar is so hot. I just want to make out with everyone here.
So he's bi.
Starting with those two. And he
he's bi.
points at these 2 dudes who are so gross looking. Like, so I think he's making a
You
joke.
should have said, are you gay?
I couldn't. I just felt
Hey,
bad.
if he said, check out these guys at the bar, and points to a guy, are you gay, by the way?
I guess I should have.
Why are you scared? You're a comic. If, I mean, if this was somebody in the audience, you would have called this person out.
I know, because on a date, I'm different.
You should approach every date like you're doing crowd work.
I think I hold back on dates.
Yep.
I'm afraid to let them see my
Just do
real,
crowd
the
work.
real me.
This goes back to your problem of intimacy issues. And,
Yeah, I do kind of have that. Well, all right. So, but then the next day, he texted me and invited me over to watch football.
Was it soccer?
No! He's like, I'm
That's a
having
fair question.
having people over to watch the Patriots.
I would have gone over just to get the vibe of the room.
I would have not gone over. I would have wrote that guy off as being bi or gay and not interested, because like even if you're coming over to his house, you're not going to be attracted to somebody that's that flamboyant. you
No,
know?
for sure.
So you should just stop. Don't waste anyone's.
That's
See,
what I
my
did.
problem is I hate when people waste people's time.
Yes. Okay.
You know, it's like just tell me immediately if you're just bored, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out with just somebody that's is just bored. You know.
I agree. But here's a question then. So then I did that. So I messaged Jen and said, hey, what do you think I should do? He invited me over. And Jen said, I think you should date him a little more for material. That was Jen's answer.
Well, you got that route. That's for sure.
I didn't want to do that though, because even though that's a good idea, but I don't want to waste his time. And it's mean. Like, I don't want to be mean. So, but here's the question. What I did is I just didn't answer, which I never normally do. And do you think it's nicer to just say, I had a nice time, but I'm just not interested? Or is it easier for the guy if the girl just never replies and you get the hint?
Absolutely say I'm not interested.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, because when you don't text me back, it makes the person think, well, maybe she didn't get it. Maybe maybe she's not doing it. Then it makes you text more. And then it makes you become crazy, because you'll
Yeah.
go like a month later. I'll be drunk, going, oh, what happened to that girl? She never wrote me back. Oh, and then you're texting out at 2 a.m, you know, and it just kind of makes you be the worst guy, you know, instead of you just going like, hey man, I had a great time. You know what? I just don't think me and you are going to work out, but you know, hopefully we can stay friends. But and then just don't ever talk.
I like that advice. That's what I'm going to do next time. I just didn't answer. I should have. Even his text after, though, he was like, because I went to do a set that night, and then the next day his text to me is, he goes, did you make him laugh? And I wrote back, yeah, it went really well. And he wrote, excellent work, my dear. And I was like, who writes that? Like, it's so
my
weird.
dad?
My dear. All right. Well, then we got that. I will from now on just say I'm not interested. I just don't like to hurt people's feelings, but I guess not answering is just as bad.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on, I haven't done too much of the Tinder dating or anything. I think I've done one. Yeah, I've done one. And we're still friends. And, you know,
Really?
like, it was cool. Like, we hung out a few times, but I knew
Did you hook up?
Yeah, but I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to work out because she had a huge dog, and she had to bring her dog everywhere. So like she brought her dog to my house. I was like, God, now there's this like 500-pound pit bull in my house.
Why she had to bring her dog everywhere?
She's just one of those girls that had to bring her dog. She's like, if you want me to stay over, I can't bring my dog, or can't leave my dog at my house. I'm like, oh my God. So it was just so much like little things like that bug me. Like, I like it when you go in. It might not be a thing between me and her, but it's something like it's a lot easier if I don't have to deal with this. You know, like she has dog problems. Like she has to bring her dog everywhere. She works. You know,
maybe it's her emotional support animal.
Yeah, but there was just so many things. Like she worked like an hour away. So like when she gets
in
off
Chatsworth,
you just knew right away.
I just knew like the things weren't adding up. But we're friends, and you know, we went on a few dates and everything, and it was fine. It was chill, but. I'd never done like a lot of my friends just hook up. You know, like I'm just going to go Tinder, hook up.
That really works? Like, who are these girls? It would never in my wildest dreams occur to me, even no matter, I'm like the horniest person. I would never go on Tinder and be like, I'm just going to fuck some stranger tonight. Like, I think it's so weird.
I think out of the friends that I know have used Tinder and stuff, I think all of them use it for just hooking up.
But like, who are the girls? Are they getting like hot girls off here?
Yeah.
What's the average? Like a 6 or a 7?
7, yeah. I'd say like, well, I mean, I haven't seen all the girls that like
it's a fair question.
that my friends have asked, you know, but you know, the girl that I met was beautiful, but you know, it was just whatever.
It was beautiful, and she's just down to fuck that night.
No, not that night. We went on a few dates.
Oh,
you know,
I thought you hooked up the first night.
No, not that first night. No, I've never done that. Like my first night meeting hookup ratio is like a 0 almost. You know?
Really?
Yeah. I don't like doing that.
Interesting.
It just I'm way shyer than you would imagine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
I'm not gonna be the guy that gets you wasted and then immediately just starts trying to fuck you. Like
not
just,
at all.
Like be physical and stuff. I'm more like
Redban
get
will.
wasted and then maybe you can
won't.
kiss at the end of the night or something.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, no, you're definitely not that.
You go home with Redban, you wake up with Reichel making you pancakes.
Whatever.
That is
That's
funny.
DoorDash.
Have you ever had a girl be like, because I know you for a while, I feel like you would fly in people.
Yeah, I've already flown in.
You're an importer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have pretty decent money coming in, you know.
Yeah.
From making T-shirts and stuff like that. So at the time I was single, so I went to Japan.
And then you got a girlfriend and all your money goes away, right?
Oh, yeah. But I went to Japan and met a girl from Japan, and we just became friends. And then she's like always used to talk, like send me messages like, oh, I wish we could go to the United States. So I was like, I wonder how much it is to, you know, it was like $600 round trip.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, you know, why don't you come? And she stayed for like a month, and we just hung out for a month. This almost complete stranger I met in Tokyo. I flew her in, and we had a great time for a month, and then she flew back. And we're friends again to this day.
Kate, he flew a girl from Tokyo, and you can't get a free drink. Do we see what the problem is?
Jen, this isn't about me. This is about Brian.
But no,
saying.
I'm a huge now. This wouldn't be happening if I lived in Columbus, Ohio. You know, the problem is that I have a big problem with a lot of the girls that are in Los Angeles. They want to be actresses. They want to be this and that. And especially when I'm like a podcast producer and stuff like that. I feel like people talk to me a lot just to get
Yeah, you don't know their motives.
Yeah, they're like fake ass people. And I run in this shit all the time. Even people that I've known for years, I'll find out the whole time that they're just like a fake ass friend.
Yeah.
You know, so flying in people, especially from Texas, which is where my favorite women in the world
You
are.
fly in a lot of Texans.
Yeah, I love Texas. Texas women are the best women in the world. Like that's just how they're raised. Like they take care of themselves. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're just nice people. Like some of the nicest people ever. So flying in from somebody to Texas to go on a few dates and hang out for a few days, way better than going on a date with some LA actress that wants to make it. Like, so, because they're real people.
And you tend to get to know them first over like webcam, or you guys talk
Skype
at least
and
usually.
talking. There's this one girl that I dated for four years, and I met her in Texas when I was doing shows, and I would fly her in once a month, and we would talk every day, 9 hours a day, to the point where my ear was burnt, like sunburnt from just my holding my phone
Oh
up
my
to
God.
it. Like, it was like crazy. But then after like 6 months of flying her in, I was just like, do you want to live with me? She moved to LA, lived with me for 4 years. Yeah, and we dated for 4 years.
You know what? In some ways, though,
I'm
'cause-
judging, but I mean that's basically what happened to me too. I'm like, that is absurd.
I know, and she's
Can't
like,
wait
I
to
met
tell
my
Cody
boyfriend
this.
on Twitter. Yeah. I mean, but in some ways, and this happened with you and Cody too, and there was like the guy, I never ended up dating him, but there was the guy in Philly that I was talking to a bunch, and it's like, in some ways, I feel like you almost feel closer and get to know someone better when you're talking to them long distance, because it takes all
yeah.
the sex out of it, and it becomes like, do I actually enjoy talking to this person? Do we have a lot in common? And then when they do come to see you, it's like you already have this intimacy that it takes forever to build up.
Oh, yeah. You know them so well by the time they get to you.
Yeah.
Because you've been talking 8 hours a day, Skype, everything. And you're just sitting there, pretty much biography, like telling them stories. It takes everything out of the equation except conversation, you know?
Yeah.
But now, would I do it again? No, I hate long distance relationships because
They're so rough.
I've been through a few, and it's torture. And and then when that person goes back, then there's like jealousy things.
It's so
and you're
hard.
like, why is she not answering her phone tonight? And then you start become like jealous boyfriend that lives 6,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, it's
And
bad
I
for your
think
head.
it can be, and I don't mean this for you, but like when I was married, my ex was a musician, and he would be away probably 60% of the time. And I think that it can become unhealthy also, because it's like, then when they come back, you want them, like you want to be so with them because you know you're not going to see them again, so you're together 24/7, and then they leave,
Yeah,
and
not
then
me.
there's separation anxiety when they leave because there's suddenly this person is gone, and it's just so emotional. It's such an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I think not for
But not
Jen.
for me though. I'm like, go do something. When
Yeah.
Cody will be gone for like 6-7 months. He comes back. He's home for like 2 days, and I'm like, can you get a hobby or something? Maybe Starbucks job.
way.
I don't care.
But
I'm
you
like,
miss him like crazy when he's gone.
sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, I enjoy being alone sometimes. You know what I mean?
This is a good point, though. I think
so
Jen,
that I can fart in my hand in the tub and make, Donald Duck sounds.
I mean,
Just kidding,
I
but
think Jen likes being
definitely gonna try
single more than you're a girlfriend guy. Like you love having a girlfriend.
I love having a girlfriend 100%. But let me say that when I'm single and dating, that's a lot of fun. And boy, do I drink a lot and go on, and I spend a lot of money. Like every night, because I'll be somebody like, if I'm single, I'll have a date Monday, date Tuesday, date Wednesday,
yeah.
and then it'd be like 4 girls that I'm just like figuring out who I like the best or whatever. But I'll go on a date every single night. I don't like doing that. Like after like a month, that's like, I'm so sick of going out on dates.
course.
And I just want somebody just to lay here.
And then you pick one.
Right.
Do these girls all know that they're like on The Bachelor without knowing it? Is the question.
Because I'm very.
No.
I think these are more also dates. Like we're like I think like one girl I'll go on a date like once a week with, and if she thinks that it's like more serious than that, then it would not be once a week. It would be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I mean like this last round before I met Toe, like there was a few girls that I was just like going on dates with, and a lot of them, like there was one that I really liked a lot, but it was just wasn't matching up. We would hang out and go have a great night, but it was also kind of like, she's not like in it for like a relationship. Like, she's just in it to like whatever. So no, and then when I met Toe, it was so funny. After I met Toe, we literally, she moved into my house like a week later.
Yeah, you guys are so cute. You
Yeah,
guys
it was
are the
just a great
cutest.
match. It was like, oh, this is a perfect match. you know?
Yeah, you guys are perfect together. We don't have a lot of time left, but I do always make everyone tell a bad date story on this show, which I feel, I'm sure you have lots of bad date stories. I remember you flying
He already
in
said
some
it, Kate.
crazy.
He thought he was dating you.
Jen, all right, look, besides me, those are obvious. No, but I mean, like, I remember you flying in like a super crazy bitch. Like, I know you've got to have some
I got
crazy stories.
2 date stories.
Perfect.
Which one do I want to choose?
You can tell both.
All right, I'll do one that's real quick. One girl on Twitter I met. Oh wait, no, I've already told this one a million times.
It's okay.
Let me think of a better one. Hold on.
Take your time.
Yeah, talk for a second.
I have lots of bad ones. I could give more bad ones.
You could write a book.
I could write a fucking book of bad. How
So
about
this time?
Oh, I got
okay,
one. I got
okay,
one.
perfect.
Okay, so I met this girl, so beautiful. Like she was like a supermodel. She looked exactly like that one girl that was I can't remember her name, but she looked like a famous actress,
Okay.
to a T, almost. At the point where I was like, wait a second, the Alba girl, whatever, Jessica
Alba.
She
Oh,
looked
yeah.
I'm dating Jessica.
yeah, she looked exactly like her, and
So hot.
she's what I call an LA gypsy, which there's a lot of them out here, and it takes you a while to figure out if they're what an LA gypsy is. They don't really have a house, or they say they're staying with a friend,
Oh,
but they're
God.
really just going from one boyfriend's house to another. So
Yep.
they'll, once they find somebody, they'll immediately
latch on,
they
and they're
latch on
instant
you,
relationship
and then
mode.
next thing you know, they're just living at your house.
Squatting.
What?
Yeah. And
Really?
And then
Yep.
then after that happens for like a month or two,
You're doing
then they're
it
like,
wrong,
I have to
Kate."
get the rest of my stuff from my friend's house. And you find out that's her ex-boyfriend.
friend.
Yeah. And so she's what she called that. Like she was staying at some guy's house, and then she started staying at my house every single day. And then one day she's like, I have to get my stuff. Can I keep some stuff here? I'm like, okay. Anyway, so this girl, very beautiful, and she just hung out with me all the time. And and then she was always like awake though. She'd never go to bed. And so like after like the second time hanging out, she just started coming to my house a lot. I'm like, all right, this girl's hot and she's cool, but she never wants to go to bed. And I would go to sleep. I'm like, she's like, I just want to play video games. And I'll go like, all right, I'm gonna
Was
go to
she
sleep.
cam girling from the living room of your house?
No. And then like I would wake up at like 10 a.m. and she's still playing video games. I'm like, why is she still awake? And then
She's
So-
a vampire.
Was she trying not to fuck?
so no.
Oh.
No. So then after like a couple days this is like just going on a date. Next thing you know, she's staying at my house. Like, then after a couple days, I was like, are you going to get out of here?
Yeah.
Are you gonna,
Like, how do I nicely ask this bitch to leave?
This date's lasted for
He's
like
dating
3
Eleven
days.
from Stranger Things. Like she's just camping out in the fucking living room.
Right.
Yeah.
She builds a fort.
Yeah. and luckily she was chill and so pretty that I didn't care that she was just staying at my house.
CK, you can
Can I just
totally
say,
get away with this
Ryan
shit.
has like now mentioned that she's hot like 20 times. Like that's all it takes. Like,
Remember,
she's so hot.
she's hot.
Well, I mean, if she wasn't hot,
Right. If
like,
she was a 7, you'd
Yeah.
be like, bitch, it's time
well,
to go.
then I'd be like, why is she in my house?
Right.
You know, but
Yeah.
but if there's a supermodel at your
Yeah.
house, you're like, you could just do it. Do you need any sparkling water?
I got you this cheese plate.
And after a couple days after our date, I was like, all right, I got to go to work now. I don't really trust you enough to just keep you at my house while I'm not here, kind of thing. So
Keep you.
So she
Like a gigapet.
Right.
So she said she was going to get her stuff from her friends and stay there for a couple of days. And so I'm like, okay. Next thing I know, she moves back to her home state, which was like Kentucky or something like that.
Sure.
And I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? And she's like, not texting me back. I'm like, what the? I heard she just said something. I'm moving back to Kentucky. Talk to you later. Like, I'm like, what the hell? and then like a couple months later, she calls me up and she goes, by the way, I have something I need to tell you. I was addicted to heroin, and
Oh my
I
God.
would go into your bathroom and just shoot up and then stay up all night.
No wonder she never slept. Holy shit. So she was actually a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Living in your apartment.
There's a lot of drug addicts that actually live it. Like, look,
Functioning drunk addicts.
Well, I mean, like, like you don't really people really do heroin like there's a lot of people that you're around and you're like you have no idea that
you would never know.
Right, like I'll do mushrooms every 6 months, I'll do coke every couple months, but like nothing crazy. Like I'm not like addicted to anything, but there's girls or people that have serious drug addictions that hold their shit together so well.
You would never know.
And you would never know. There's been a few people that are like, yeah, I'm addicted to meth. And I'm like, what? You? Shit like that.
You're right, especially in
they're
this
falling out of their mouth. And he's like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Especially in this town. Well, it's like all these celebrities. People are like, how do you stay in shape? And they're just like, genetics. I'm like, is that code word for cocaine? Because there's nobody is doing it by genetics. It's just.
I mean, you joked about Vicodin early. Every girl I know is on Adderall.
I'm not Vicodin. To be clear, my drug of choice.
Yeah, every girl I know is on Adderall though. Like it's like ridiculous. I have had 3 Adderalls my whole life, and the other day somebody gave me one, and I split it in half, and I should find the other half, but like that little half. I was like, wow, I felt great. I can see why people like this. Like I'm awake and my brain's working.
Oh, that's how I know. I knew you didn't do it often the night I saw you at the Comedy Store. It's like midnight, and Brian's like, I got an Adderall. And I'm like, we will be up for 2 days. I can't take that right now.
I took half of it that night, and I was up all night. And I didn't take the other half. Like, it's still in my front jacket of my coat.
That's how I am with it. Like, I don't take it often anymore because I found for me, it really does help me. Like, I have really bad ADD and it really does help me focus. But when I run out, because I don't have health insurance, so I'm like buying it illegally. And when I run out, the crash from it is insane. I mean, I can't think straight. I'll go on set. One night I went on, that's how I knew I had to quit. One night I went on set at the Ice House and I seriously could barely remember my jokes. I mean, my brain just wouldn't fucking work. And I was like, oh, that's it. Like when it starts fucking with my comedy, that's what's funny is like, I'll let guys treat me like shit. I'll let all this bad stuff. But if you mess with your jokes. But you mess with my comedy, I'm like, oh, fuck no. Like that's it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, I tried some coke before going on. No, I tried the first time I tried Adderall. I went on stage, and I took like a whole pill. And a couple hours later, I went and did an open mic or whatever back then. And I remember thinking,
he's like, I'm done. And they're like, you've got 7 more minutes, Brian.
But I remember feeling I was on stage, like I felt like I was on cocaine. I felt like I was getting drips and stuff. And I was like, I'm never doing Adderall again. Like that made me like fucked up. And then I tried Adderall like the second time a couple years later, and I took half, and I was like, oh, I could see this is good if I need to do something important, like
you're trying to write a script, you're on a deadline.
Yeah, deadline. But yeah, as a tool, I think Adderall is great. But a lot of the people I know, like there's people that would text me in the 4 a.m. I need Adderall. Did you know anyone that can sell Adderall? I'm like, Jesus, you're like
it's
a
so
drug
addictive.
Addict right now.
It is so addictive because you start getting so much shit done. And also I find for me that like I was kind of using it as not an antidepressant, but it helps regulate my emotions. I can be really sensitive, and I know when I'm on Adderall, I'm not quite as impulsive when it comes to emotions. I don't text as crazy. I'm not like it.
You're uber focused.
I am, yeah. So I don't get as distracted with like, oh, this guy's not texting me. Like I don't care. It's weird, but I don't like how it makes me on stage because I notice it makes me a little edgy. The way
throws your timing off.
Yeah, it really does. And so guys, the moral of today:
don't do drugs.
Don't wear diapers at Target and try to take shits. Don't import strangers unless you've talked to them a lot. Don't date heroin
Just don't
addicts.
get in long distance relationships.
Yeah.
If you cut it off early. Don't even go there.
Yeah. Don't do drugs, and don't take me out thinking that you're dating me if I say that we're friends, and. I think that's it.
Yeah. I think we learned a lot today.
Covers the gamut. Brian, this will be up not tomorrow, but next Friday. So anything you want to plug you got coming up?
Got a bunch of new, I have a whole new t-shirt line and sweatshirt line and hat line that's probably going to be dropping next week. So yeah, go to
dropping like a turd in Target.
Yeah, so go there. Shopsquad.tv.
Shopsquad.tv.
Yeah, making like a cool 7-Eleven hat. And you remember the 7-Eleven hat?
Yeah, we have the same one.
I think somebody stole mine, but yeah, so just like I have these hats, like this is a McDonald's version.
I noticed.
Yeah,
I was staring at it the whole time.
A lot of people think this is like Japanese McDonald's. It's a Death Squad hat, but it looks supposed to look like McDonald's. So I'm making a 7-Eleven one right now, which is pretty sweet.
Sweet. Dope. I love that. You make dope shit. You really do.
Thank you. And DeathSquad.tv.
DeathSquad.tv. Follow Redban if you don't. I'm sure you do. At Redban Jenn. You're at the. Oh, never mind. That's this weekend. What do you got going on?
Dude, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Just follow
tomorrow.
Jen. Just follow her.
me.
Just follow her.
Follow me in all my adventures.
At Jennifer Sterger. Follow me at Kate Q Funny. This has been Date Fails. Tweet me your questions, or you can email datefailspod@gmail.com. See you guys next time. Bye. Dude, that